All right, we're live, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a while to Let's Talk Lake County. I'm your host, David Rich. Local kind of show host here, do some video podcasts like this one, radio shows, so on. The election's coming up literally a week from what, tomorrow?
2 weeks.
2 weeks from tomorrow. Sorry, you're right. And that's very close. So what I did is I reached out to Lake County Democrats, ones that I know, ones that I don't know, see if they want to come on here and talk about their campaign, see how things are going. And so we have our first candidate here, Jennifer Banek, who has been, hello, Jennifer, our Lake County Coroner for 3.5-ish years now, and has been done a wonderful job. I will say that. I know some of the ins and outs of what have happened over the last 3.5 years, and I'm very, very impressed. I knew it the person before, so I can compare and contrast. So here she is. She's just got about 15 minutes because she's very busy on the campaign trail. So Jennifer, thank you for coming on. And what's going on with you in the campaign?
Thanks for having me, David. Yeah, I was elected in 2020, and I'll say it's been a challenging time to be the coroner here in Lake County. As you know, we started, when I became the coroner, of course, we started things off with a COVID-19 pandemic, and we've been still continue to be going through the epidemic, the opioid epidemic. And then we had a number of notable mass homicides here in Lake County, very unfortunate tragedies. So it's been an interesting time for certain. That being said, I think we have a number of significant things that we've done to try to keep Lake County safer. And I'm proud of the things that we've done for the community. We've really the job of the coroner is to conduct death investigations. And so I guess it may be a good place to start. Many people don't really know, I think, what the coroner's office does. So if it's all right with you, I'll give just
Please do, yeah.
A brief synopsis, or as brief as I can. So Lake County is the third largest county in Illinois with 725,000 residents. And so every single death that happens in Lake County, which every year that's about 6,000 to 7,000 deaths, every single death is not a coroner's case. The only deaths that become coroner's cases are those that we suspect might be preventable. So that means that we do about 600 to 700. We assume jurisdiction over 600 to 700 deaths that we conduct death investigations over. So that's every suicide, homicide, car accident, suspected overdose, and anything else, that we, like I said, suspect could have been preventable. So, I said,
just real quick, Jennifer, if you don't mind. So like a heart attack or stroke wouldn't be under your jurisdiction because it's a more like natural causes kind of thing.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
If, for instance, somebody was 40 years old and they suddenly died, and they weren't necessarily under routine medical care, that would be kind of strange for somebody that's 40 years old.
It's unordinary. So okay, you look at it and make sure that there's no foul play, if you will, or if it could have been prevented somehow. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yep. So, we are a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day a week, 365-day a year operation. There's always somebody at the other end of the line in the coroner's office. And so we will screen all of those cases, those 6,000 to 7,000 deaths. We'll screen them and make sure that there's nothing nefarious or suspicious, and see whether or not it's something we should assume jurisdiction over. And then our deputies will, if they do think it's something we should look into, our deputies will go out, they'll investigate. Sometimes myself or my chief deputy will respond to the scene as well. Take pictures, partner with law enforcement, identify the person at the scene, notify next of kin, bring the decedent back to our office. Usually the next day, we'll conduct the autopsy. I'll reach out to the family and give the family the preliminary autopsy findings. Oftentimes we send off different specimen for labs, toxicology, histology, testing. And then we write our pathologist will write a report, a very comprehensive report. And it takes about 6 weeks or so for a complete death investigation to be completed. Now, when I came into office, every 60 day, within a 60-day period, only 30% of cases were being closed within 60 days. I'm pleased to say that nowadays, I believe about 92% of cases are being closed within 60 days. Why is that important? That's important because once a case is closed, a family is able to get a death certificate much more quickly. Families want death certificates because then they can take care of legal things like insurance or family affairs. That's the number one reason why it's important. And the second reason is because if we want to keep communities safer, it's important. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough.
That's okay.
It's important that data, that information is important, is available in real time so that we know what preventable things are happening in our community. Stakeholders like legislators and county board members need to know what preventable things are happening in our community. So we want that data available in as real time as possible. So that's a little bit of information about what the coroner does. We provide monthly reports to the county board, officers every month. That was not happening before I came into office. That becomes a part of public record. We have also created a dashboard for opioids, suicides, and homicides. That is almost in real time as well. So anytime anybody is wondering how many of any of those tragedies are happening in Lake County, anybody can go, any community member can go and look at, all you do is if you Google Lake County Coroner Dashboard, and you can look up and see what your community looks like. Transparency is very important to me. So I think that's really important. Otherwise, what you would have to do before I came into office, you'd have to submit some type of like a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act request, or you'd have to call my office sometime between normal business hours. I don't know about you, David, but that's not super convenient. So
it's remarkably inconvenient. I've toyed with getting FOIA reports before, and it's a massive process. I got annoyed enough. I was like, forget it. So
yeah.
because of the systemic problems with getting access to that, and what would be so like would need to be elusive or hidden about statistics on the rates of these things happening and when they happen. I mean, it's just they're statistical numbers. I mean, it's math. I mean, why would anybody want to make it difficult? Does that make sense?
Well, I don't know why anybody would want to make it difficult. And in fact, like one of the reasons why I think it's really important that that we see what's going on is like, if you look at the maps, you'll see that there are lots of instances of preventable deaths that happen in certain hot spots in our county. And to me, what that points out is we've got lots of work to do. And I think it's important that the stakeholders in our communities know that there's work for us to be done in the areas, especially of opioid overdoses, suicides, and homicides in particular. So let's focus on those areas in need in our communities.
No, that's very cool because I mean, when you can like visualize these patterns and stuff like that, or understand the distribution of these happenings, in specific areas. I mean, that's where it strongly suggests that there's something causal happening in that area. And of course, the main goal of science is to find causes. So yes, no, so that's very good that you would have these sorts of like methods and tools at hand.
Yeah, it tells a story, right?
Yes, it does.
I'm pretty sure most people didn't read the annual report.
Unlikely.
Yeah. So
But
one other thing I would love to tell your listeners about that was a pretty cool thing that we did was There's an organization called Gift of Hope. Gift of Hope are the folks that are involved with organ and tissue procurement. Should somebody pass, they would be the folks that would arrange for organ and tissue procurement if that was something that next of kin or the decedent had agreed to upon their passing. And when I came into office, we always had a relationship with them, but to be honest with you, what our relationship really involved was them bringing my staff donuts periodically. And what I mean by that is that the decedents never were really organ or tissue donors. And the reason for that is really twofold. It's a time-dependent process because of the physiology, and it's a difficult conversation for the deputies to have with the family members, and they're really not trained to have that conversation. My deputies aren't. So what we did though was we made our computer system where we put our cases interoperable with the Gift of Hope's computer system, such that immediately when the deputies get the case, Gift of Hope is able to see the case, such that the Gift of Hope representative is able to interface with the family, so that the time and the conversation piece is now no longer the burden or the responsibility of our deputy, but Gift of Hope can just talk with the family. And so
That's great.
what that meant is that 24 of our decedents became donors in 2023. For every donor, at a minimum, 25 recipients are helped. If you do the math, it means that at least 600 people were helped. I
Wow, that's
mean,
great.
that's amazing. So
Yeah, it's substantial.
it was a very simple, I say simple. If you ask my chief deputy if it was simple, and if you ask the other deputies in my office, they might not say it was so simple, but sounds simple when I tell you.
Sure.
I think it made a large difference in a lot of people's lives.
That's great. I mean, yeah, you're probably out there saving lives and helping lives, and help people deal with the grief and everything else. I mean, one tragedy can lead to a lot of others sometimes. So yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, kind of cool.
Yeah. So we just got a couple minutes here left because I know you're busy. But how is the campaign looking? How do you feel about it?
I feel really positive. We've been working really hard. We've been quite organized. We've been campaigning. I think, gosh, I think announced my intentions to run for reelection. Pretty early, excuse me, pretty early on, and so we've been quite organized for some time.
Good.
I'm feeling good about the prospects, but we don't take anything for granted. And if anybody wants to learn more about the campaign, please check out my Facebook page. Jennifer Banek is your Lake County Coroner. You can go to that's my Facebook page. Jennifer Banek is your Lake County Coroner. You can also go to my website, banekforcoroner.com. What we call down ballot races are really important. It's important that you vote all the way down the ballot. And listen, like we're the kind, this isn't the president of the United States. We're the kind of people that you can reach out. We actually respond most of the time. Like I will do my best to personally respond to your message. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to personally message me, and I'll do what I can to connect with you and answer your questions.
Absolutely, and I can vouch for that. By the way, she's very good at that, attending to to public, responding to the public. Absolutely, 100%. All right, well, thank you so much, Jennifer Banek, Lake County Coroner, incumbent, running again. We got 2 weeks from today, and then we'll see what happens. All
Early
right,
voting sites are open.
yes, early voting, technically started a couple weeks ago in Waukegan, but in all the different areas it opened yesterday. I mean, I went there yesterday after work and 4-ish, and there was a line. I've never seen that before. People are chomping at the bit for this election. It's very cool. Very
Get it
interesting.
done. Let's crush it.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, good for you. And thank you so much for coming on. And Jennifer Banek, Lake County Coroner, I will chat with you soon.
Thanks, David. Take care.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.